the Horn of Africa drought has affected 31.8 million people. That is in Kenya, Somalia, and Ethiopia. Ethiopia is the most affected with about 17 million people, followed by Somalia with 8 million people, and then Kenya we are at 6.7. So when you talk about drought, food of course is the most urgent need, but there are other effects that come with the drought. People have lost all their livelihoods, that people who live in these communities are pastoralists, they keep animals, so all the animals died because there is no water, there is no fodder. Then without water, of course, then you are without water and without a nutritious food or enough food, people start getting sick. So we have a whole of health-related issues. There is no water, of course. Sometimes even if you give them food and they don't have water, then they will not be able to cook the food. So we are working with refugees in Western Tanzania, and we are giving them the seeds, the tools. We are training them and we are supporting them to get extension services. And their focus is planting vegetables. They are planting vegetables because it's a high value crop. It requires a very short time to grow, and we are supporting conservation agriculture, and we want them to grow organic vegetables. They're actually growing organic vegetables, and this is just to help them improve their diet. Because when you are in a refugee camp and you are given food ration, and in this particular refugee camp, the food ration comes from World Food Program. It's same food you are given for 1 year, which will be about 365 days. So you can imagine if you are eating the same diet for 365 days and you have been living in that refugee camp for 40 years. And we have seen that faith leaders or faith organizations, when things come really hot, when things become really difficult, we have to be there to provide hope. Because in Africa, church is still very, 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 very appreciated. And when people do not have food, they'll actually walk to church and tell the pastor, the reverend, the church minister that they have nothing at home to eat. And those church ministers will actually look for us, like me, they have my number, they call and say, oh Mary, my people are hungry, they're coming here. If you can even just give me a sack of maize meal, I'll put in my office, and when they come, I can even give a glass so that they go back with something to eat. And for that reason, we are very, very grateful for the support of Canadian farmers, and especially the funds that came through from Canadian Food Grants Bank, CFDB, and also got funding from the Humanitarian Coalition of Canada. With that money, I think we have received about 4 million Canadian dollars, and we have been able to feed 13,000 households, giving them monthly food ration for all that time. And that is life-saving. It's life-saving, because without it, then we'll be talking about something else. Like in Somalia, we already have people dying from hunger. So we hope that we'll continue providing food, but we also want to look into aspects of how do people continue living this. Because when I was young, I started doing this work when I was just 23 years, and I had just finished university. Many times I used to wonder, why are these guys living here? Until I started interacting with them more, talking to them more, then I realized home is home. You cannot move away from your home.
Yeah.
And for that reason, we want to see what are other things that we can be able to do with these people, for them to start adapting. The problem is actually climate change, and unfortunately, these people who are most affected, they have done nothing to contribute to this.
Yeah.
Completely nothing. It's gonna get worse. As Christians, we have hope and our wishes that it can get better, but we want to prepare for the worst scenario. If it gets worse, then what else?